want a ticket to anywhere. Maybe we can make a deal. Maybe together we can get somewhere. Any place is better. Starting from zero, got nothing to lose. Maybe we'll make something.
Anybody see this over the weekend?
Me, myself, I got nothing to prove.
Chris Cornell covering Fast Car. Chris Cornell would have been 60 years old this past Saturday. And his widow is always posting things. There's a vaults of music that Chris Cornell never released. That's why you might have heard me in the past, Bill, refer to Chris Cornell as White Prince.
Haven't, but okay.
Although to me, Chris Cornell, more of a king. But Vicky Cornell is always posting things, and one of them was his cover of Tracy Chapman's Fast Car, which, boy, everybody and their mother started doing again. Who was the dude that did it?
Luke Combs.
Luke
No, you
Combs.
just saw him, right?
I just went and saw him on Saturday.
Did you
on
really?
Accident.
Where was
Yes.
that, Jones Beach?
No, MetLife.
Oh, yeah?
I was at a show Saturday, and a comedian walked in wearing a Luke Combs shirt. I was like, oh, dude, I love Luke Combs. I was like, he's on, like, one of my bucket lists. I've been wanting to see him for a few years now.
Now, he's the fat ginger, right?
They're all fat gingers, too. Yeah,
No, but
But
is it
he
Luke Combs like a...
actually a fat ginger?
Yeah.
Kinda.
Yeah.
That's what I
mean,
mean,
I
yeah.
guess. And I was like, I love Luke Combs. He's like, oh, I just saw him last night. I was like, where was he? He's like, MetLife. I was like, oh, that's awesome, man. I wish I could have gone. And he goes, I bought the weekend pass, so I have 2 tickets for tonight, but I can't use them. And I was like, I will go right now. We were both at a show. I was in the middle of hosting a show. And he's like, are you serious? And I was like, I'm not kidding at all. I will leave this show right now and go watch Luke Combs. And he was like, okay, run it by the manager. And as long as they're cool with it, I'll transfer you the ticket. So he did. And the manager was like, yeah, we'll have somebody else close out the show.
Wait. You were in the middle of working?
Yeah. I was hosting a show at the stand. And this was a free ticket to go see Luke Combs. So I left like 15 minutes early. The only thing the other comic had to do was just go up and close out the show and be like, hey, guys, thanks for coming. Appreciate you. Pay your servers. So it was incredible. He is absolutely so good live. So good live.
And you feel weird about leaving early?
Why would I feel weird about leaving early?
You were hosting a show.
Right. But it was 15 minutes early. Literally, the only thing left to do was just close out the show.
Yeah,
and
that's
for a chance to go see someone I've been wanting to see for 5 years for free,
How are the seats?
I don't feel bad about that at all. So MetLife is insanely big. I've never been in a stadium like that. So there's like 3 tiers, I guess. There's the floor, and then first bowl, second bowl,
That's in New
third bowl.
Jersey, right?
It's in Jersey, yeah.
It's just over the in the tunnel.
By the
It took
Meadowlands.
like a half hour.
Yeah.
So it was like the 3rd tier, first row. So they were up there, but being in the first row wasn't as bad because there's nobody blocking my view.
That's where the Giants play.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Giants and Jets, and
It's huge.
they're doing
dude.
the World Cup there in a couple. I don't remember, but
It's the biggest NFL stadium.
yeah, it's huge.
So it was packed out then.
It was sold out. He sold
Wow.
out 2 nights. And I was actually thinking about you guys when you're like, these podunk, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, yeah, these are the ones that are selling hundreds
No,
of
I know.
thousands of
Listen.
tickets.
Who do we say podunk?
No, when you say that there's like country artists that you've never heard of that are selling hundreds of thousands of tickets.
Well,
Like
it's
this
Well,
Say
no, but we
podunk.
cop to it. I mean, I'm
Yeah.
like, I know they're selling. I don't get it,
I
but
said Luke Bryan sold out 3 nights at an NFL stadium. I wasn't acting like I don't know who he is, or not him, Morgan Wallen. Like I know there's huge country artists.
so you went
I
on
just can't believe
Saturday.
people enjoy the music as much as they do.
Yes, I went Saturday.
Jordan Davis. This is the support. Did you see the support?
I didn't see any of the openers.
She's not there for the
Oh,
openers.
I see.
Well, no, I didn't find out until 8:30.
Yeah, you went for the headline. Yeah,
Yeah.
the growing up, and getting old tour. Okay,
It was so good, man.
he's probably got a
I was-
hot wife too, right?
He's
Yeah.
got a very hot wife.
Yeah.
Yeah, her birthday was Sunday. Everybody sang happy birthday to her.
Oh.
It was crazy.
Well, that's not.
I was sobbing during the 2 songs. The one is about losing your dad. And that one got me. I forgot about that song.
What's that called? Goodbye,
it's-
Dad.
Yes, it's called. It's called. I'm so sorry you died, Dad. I can't believe you're gone. No, it's called Just 'Cause I'm Leaving, I think is what it's called.
And does everybody go crazy? I mean, this is obviously an act where everybody knows the songs, but do people go extra crazy for that Tracy Chapman cover?
Even Though I'm Leaving is what it's called. Yeah, people. Well, that was his crossover hit. That's what sent him into another stratosphere. Was that being played on like pop stations,
Right.
and getting all the press and coverage that it did.
But is it all? I mean, even if you like that song, if you go to his show, you go, oh, you still have to like. Is it pop country?
He
He's more
actually
country.
Is he?
He's got
Yeah.
a lot of love songs. He has like a lot of slower, like more ballad type songs. But yeah, he has some pop country, some regular, some more.
But even
stuff.
like the stuff that I've seen, like the pop country is more Randy Travis than like modern pop country. Like I would say, like it's more based in country than pop.
Yeah.
Like it's more upbeat for sure, but it's more like, it's or even Garth Brooks type stuff.
Yeah, his song "Even Though I'm Leaving," that one got me, and then the one before that, he played them back to back. There's one called "Doing This," which he talks about being asked in an interview, like, "What would you be doing if you weren't doing this?" And he talks about like, "Oh, I'd still be doing this. You just wouldn't know who I was." And it's about like, just playing no-name towns and paying your dues and.
It's why I could never figure out why New York City, the New York Metro, could never keep a country radio station on the air. Because obviously it's popular, but they could just never keep one on the air. And they tried a bunch of times, boy. They're like, it's the number one market. Country is a massive, format. And they would, every few years, they'd try to put a country station on, and just nobody cared. And I can't figure it out because it's huge here. I know it's Cleveland, but I mean, anywhere you go, there's going to be people who like country
it's
music.
obviously huge there if he sold out 2 shows
That's
in
what
a
I'm saying.
100,000 seat stadium. It's just
I can't figure it
for
out.
whatever reason people aren't listening to the radio.
I think they got something out on Long Island now. But, I mean, they went through so many iterations of country radio in New York City. They had 94.7 and they had, 104.5, all this stuff. But they just could not figure it out. Because you got a lot of very popular acts right now. But fewer, it seems like they're more solo people now, and fewer like, Brooks and Dunn, Jimmy and Johnny, that kind of, like Florida,
Bands
Georgia, that kind of thing.
Bands or duos.
The
or
two
whatever.
dudes in these things.
Yeah, it
All
was-
right,
it
well, so that was a bucket
incredible.
list thing then.
So good.
Yep.
Yeah, I've been wanting to see him for probably since the pandemic. Because he popped off for me probably in like 2017 or 18 is when I started listening to him. And then since everything came back, I was like, man, I've been really wanting to go see Luke Combs. It was incredible.
By the way, and if you have tickets, you probably know this, but I'll just let you know, Slash, his stepdaughter died. And so he's canceled his Midwest shows. So if you were going to go see Slash tonight in Cincinnati, they have canceled that show. The 24th in Michigan, they canceled. The Dayton show on, what's the 25th? Thursday?
Mm-hmm.
The Dayton show on Thursday and the Windsor, Ontario, if you're a Detroit bureau chief. He's canceled all those shows. He'll get back on in Toronto this weekend. But I guess they think that his stepdaughter OD'd. She was 25 years old, and she had her own thing going on social media. But, they always go through, when they look back, they talk about like, the final post she made really worried people. But what are you going to do? I don't know. So he canceled a bunch of his dates, but the first one canceled is Cincinnati tonight. So if you're somebody who's like, can't wait for that Slash show in Cincinnati, it's not going to happen. At the PNC Fieldhouse or whatever's down there. The PNC Pavilion. And then Interlochen, Michigan. That's like a big artsy-fartsy school, yeah? Interlochen?
Yeah.
Music and art. Very expensive. Very prestigious. It's like the Juilliard of the Midwest. But his, That's why if you got to make every, they say live every day like it's your last. You have to make every social media post like it's your last. So when they go back and look, whether it's something you do to yourself or, God forbid, something that happens to you, What legacy will we leave behind? Well, these days it's going to be social media. You've got to make sure that whatever you're posting is something that other people can look at and go, why didn't we see the signs? Mary was at the Luke Combs show. She was so happy. How did she end up in the alley later that night? Foraging. She couldn't get in. Forgot her key. So excited. And that was the end of it. So, did you see have you ever heard of a woman named, I'll show you a little bit of her work. Have you ever run into a woman, you're probably not doing the same shows, but a woman named Diane Forrest?
Oh.
You ever heard of Diane Forrest?
No.
I have not.
Okay. She's an 89-year-old stand-up comedian who works in New York. She turns 90 next week.
Diane Forrest?
Diane Forrest. I'll play a little bit of her stuff. She got sucker punched in the street. And this is probably the most press she's ever gotten. But she was, this is in the morning. She was walking back to her home in the West Village from a swim class.
Ooh.
And she was sucker punched. If you find her photo online, she got a big old swollen eye.
Yeah.
Someone sucker punched her in the face. CBS 2's Naveen Dhaliwal has the story from Greenwich Village.
I started out as a singer.
Turning 90 at the end of the month, Dion Forrest is not slowing down.
Dion.
She's a stand-up comedian who moved into this West Village apartment from Paris nearly 60 years ago.
This place is beautiful. It reminded me of Paris.
For this woman who makes people laugh, last Wednesday was no laughing matter.
I'm looking at the light, waiting for it to change, and all of a sudden, whammo. I didn't know what happened.
It was just before 9 a.m. Forrest was walking home from a swim class when at the corner of 7th Avenue and West 11th.
I just felt it was my eye, and I thought, oh my God, even my nose didn't get it. And I just had Botox the day before.
Police.
She looks like she's had a little, but she's a performer.
Yeah.
You haven't run across Dion Forrest?
No.
Oh. Well, listen, she's out there. Getting on stage. Who knows if she'll be performing anytime soon. Oh, what's that? You'd like to hear some of her work?
Yes, please.
Oh, of course.
Hi, everybody. I'm Dion Forrest, and I'm 87 years old.
It's her at Gotham.
Well, I'd like to put it out there right away in case I don't make it through the show. Yeah, and I'm 87, and it's okay. Except I'm a whole lot less flexible than I used to be. I mean, hell, I haven't been able to do 69 since I was 69.
Mary, it's like looking into your future.
I know. Actually, I have seen her. Now that I see her with her little ukulele or whatever,
Yeah.
I've seen her at Gotham. She did like the Monday night Bringer show.
How does she do?
She crushes.
Bring her. She's
Yeah.
89. Who's she? Who's she getting to come?
I saw her. That's the one time I saw her was on like a new talent night, which if I'm not mistaken, I'm pretty sure in order to perform on that show, you have to have 5 people come.
Well, I guess it could be the same 5 people, right?
Right. It could be.
Yeah. Dion
And
Forrest.
she's lived in the city for a long time. I'm sure she knows 5 people.
Yeah. You think? Yeah, but her friends are dying. She's 90.
Yeah, well, she's got people
She
at the
wanna swim
Y.
class?
She's swimming
Yeah.
class.
Yeah, that's true.
wanna
Hey,
come out
you
for a
want to
nice
come
night
out
out?
tonight? Yeah. You want to come on out? I play a ukulele. So she plays the ukulele,
Yeah.
gets up there, and
It's like a song about being old. If I
there you
remember
go.
correctly.
Come on, Awanalea or whatever. You know, one of those Hawaiian classics. Well, listen. Mary said Luke Bryan popped off for her in 2020. I didn't know they were that close.
Luke Combs.
Yeah, Luke Combs. I think Bill was the one who mentioned Luke Bryan.
And I still meant I meant Morgan Wallen.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
Oh, it was
I
a different,
corrected myself.
a different guy
Yeah.
altogether.
Yeah.
All right. Well, anyway, next time you see her, Mary, just go, hey, sorry about your eye, or whatever. Maybe the two of you can team up. You know, that's what's lacking these days is a good old-fashioned buddy team in comedy. You go, hey, Dion, blah, blah, you can write it. You're smart. You can figure it out. And then she throws it back to you.
Yeah.
You know,
What's it like in menopause? Well, Mary, let me tell you.
Menopause, yeah. She's like, yeah, 50 years ago when I went into menopause, it was tough. But I'm coming out on the other side of it. She hasn't been able to do 69 since she was 69.
Pretty good.
You get it? Because she's old. That's the last time she was able to do it. I got to go to break here. Let me give you a key. Hopefully we'll fire up this Buzzard bike. We're giving away a brand new Harley with Budweiser. If you go to WMMS.com, you're going to see all of the information there. But you got to have one of these keys. It's a Harley Sportster 1250S. And you have to win one of these. And then one of them will fire this puppy up. And it could be yours. So Rover's got the keys. Stansbury's got them. I have them. Rover tells you every morning when we will do ours the remainder of the day. Dieter's got some